Welcome to the Explainer. Today we are digging into the blueprint of Roman domination, the military camp, or Castrum. Now this was so much more than just a fortress. It was, believe it or not, a portable piece of Rome itself, engineered to be thrown up and torn down anywhere in the known world, basically turning foreign soil into Roman territory overnight.
The historian Polybius, he argued that Rome's real strength wasn't just its legions, but its constitution, its fundamental way of organizing itself. And absolutely nothing embodied this disciplined worldview better than the Castrum. It was the Roman constitution made real, right there in wood and earth. It was a blueprint of order stamped onto a hostile, chaotic world.
So how in the world did they pull this off? Well, in this explainer, we're going to follow the whole process. First, we'll look at the master plan itself. Then we'll see how the walls went up with, incredible speed. We'll even step inside to see what life was like within that grid. And finally, we'll discover how these so-called temporary camps quite literally laid the foundations for modern Europe. Okay, I want you to picture this. Thousands of Roman soldiers, they're deep in enemy territory, and the daylight is fading fast. Their survival, not to mention the success of the entire campaign, it all hinged on this one ingenious, repeatable solution they had to build from scratch every single day. And that solution was the Castrum, a highly standardized military camp. Now, it didn't matter if it was a temporary marching camp built for just a single night, or a permanent stone fortress meant to guard a frontier for decades. The core design principles, they were always the same. It was both a shield and a spear for the legions. So why the square shape? The camp's square or rectangular form wasn't just about being practical. It was a powerful statement. It reflected the Roman concept of urbs quadrata, the sacred ordered square city. Every single castrum was a miniature Rome, a little particle of civilization just stamped onto the wilderness. For the soldiers inside and the enemies outside, the message was crystal clear. Order has arrived. Okay, so you have the blueprint. How did it become a reality on the ground? Well, building a castrum wasn't just construction. It was a masterclass in disciplined, rapid, and just relentless engineering.
In just a few hours, a legion could turn open ground into a fortress. It was this incredible ritual. First, surveyors would precisely mark out the grid. Then thousands of soldiers, and get this, often still in their armor, would literally attack the earth, digging the defensive ditch, heaving that soil up to form the rampart, and then crowning it all with a vicious palisade of sharpened stakes that every single man carried with him.
And this reveals such a core difference in mindset. The Greek historian Polybius actually noted this. He said Greeks would adapt their camps to the land, right? They'd use hills and rivers for defense. The Romans, they did the exact opposite. They forced the land to adapt to their system. They would choose hours of backbreaking labor over compromising their perfect, predictable, and efficient design. It was all about imposing their will on the world, not the other way around.
All right, the walls are up, now we can step inside. And what we find is less of a campsite and more of a temporary, functioning city, just humming with the precision of a military machine. The logic of this layout is what made it so brilliant. Look at the grid. Everything had its place. The general's headquarters, the Praetorium, it sits right at the center. Two main streets intersect to connect the four gates. But maybe the most ingenious feature was this open space here, the intervallum, a 200-foot wide buffer zone right inside the wall. This kept the barracks out of range of enemy arrows and acted as a kind of rapid deployment ring road, letting troops rush to defend any point on the perimeter in seconds. 4,200. According to Polybius, that was the standard number of infantrymen in a legionary camp. Now, when you add in the cavalry, the support staff, the auxiliaries, you're looking at a bustling, disciplined city rising from the dirt in an afternoon, only to vanish without a trace by sunrise. Just incredible. But here's the really crucial point. These temporary camps, well, they had a profoundly permanent impact on the world. They might have been designed for war, but they became the very seeds of European civilization. So over the centuries, as the empire's borders started to solidify, these camps evolved. What started as just earth and wood during the Punic Wars became permanent fortresses of stone and brick by the end of the 1st century. These castra stativa became these hubs of administration, magnets for local trade, attracting merchants, artisans, and soldiers' families. And this, right here, is the ultimate legacy of the Castrum. Ever wonder where the Chester or Castor in English place names comes from? It's from Castra. The grid-like patterns of these military outposts became the foundational street plans for so many of Europe's great modern cities, from London to Vienna to Belgrade.
So this leaves us with a final thought. The Castrum really shows that Roman power wasn't just about winning battles. No, it was about the relentless, disciplined ability to build, to organize, and to impose order anywhere at any time. And it proves that for the Romans, the shovel, it was every bit as mighty as the